Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for CSI. And this layout is for the case file number 448, and I've already chosen and printed two photographs that I want to use, and I've cut a circle, I've just drawn around a plate and I'm just splitting it up into sections. They're not quite equal, it doesn't really matter, and I've found the center point. The circle is just cut out of just a very thin piece of copy paper, so it's just scrap really, and I've brought in lots of scraps of different shades of teal and light blue, and I'm going to make let's put the circle back together in to make it look a bit like a pie chart. And I'll explain in a moment why pie chart is specifically what I'm talking about. So I don't know whether you've seen the CSI challenges before. I really recommend you check them out. There's a Facebook group and they're on Instagram as well. There's 2 challenges every month and there's a design team for both. And I'm on the even numbers, and you get an image, 5 colours, a list of evidence and a testimony. And the idea is it uses all of those things to actually inspire you to scrapbook. Sounds complicated, but it really isn't. So I've not particularly used the image for this layout, but I am using 4 out of the 5 colours. The testimony, I've gone with the word free and fly, particularly when I've come to choose my photographs. And then the list of evidence is the best bit for me. In the evidence are lots of things that Debbie, that runs this, has listed that she would like you to try and add to your layout. Now, that it's not the idea to use all of them. It's an idea to be inspired to use some of them. I've printed off the list, which is what I normally do. I've got it there on my right with the photographs, and I keep it as a reference. And one of the things on that list was pie charts, colour wheels, or something like a ship's wheel. And that's where the inspiration for the start of this layout came from. I thought, I'll make a pie chart. I love using up scraps. I love these challenges because it makes me use different supplies, makes me go hunting for things I wouldn't necessarily use. As you can see, these are all scraps from different manufacturers. Once I've got bits of paper that I like, I do store them by colour once a collection is pretty much killed. So this is from my bags of blues and teals, and so there was plenty of bits for me to choose from. So I'm just picking a different paper for each section of this pie chart. So they're not all even, as you can tell. But I'm also trying to incorporate some of the other things off the evidence list while I do this. So the first 2 things says dots and stripes. So I've got at least 2 dotty papers there, one with stripes, one with birds, and one with clouds. And they're all things that are actually listed. The clouds one I don't list at the end because by the time I've finished, I've literally covered it. But I know there's a piece of paper there with clouds on. So I'm already ticking off other things off the list, but it's helped me choose the papers to add to the pie chart. In fact, another one says leaves and plants, and I've got a flowery paper there as well. So I'm really actually ticking those off. So architectural elements and houses are also on the list. So I've chosen some background paper. This is an old basic grey from my stash. And because I'm standing in front of a street art wings in the photograph, I decided I'd add some brick texture to the background paper, and to me that's my architectural item. So that's just with a little bit of white ink, and you saw me just subtly rubbing it with my finger just to blend it into the paper. I think I do add a little bit more nearer the end once the layout starts to come together. I've also distressed the edges of this circle because I want to show a little bit of the background between them. And I'm just putting a tiny bit of double-sided tape onto each of the segments while I actually get them in position. Even though I've cut the segments out whole, I am actually going to overhang a couple off the edge of the paper just to give it a bit of an off-center look. So I'm just trying to get those right at the moment. And this is a good chance for you to see the image, the colours, and the evidence list there, all on my right, which I keep there just as a bit of a memory jogger as I go along. If your mojo's ever done a runner and you're struggling to scrapbook or be creative, I would really recommend you check out the CSI challenges every month, and you can also have a look at the back ones as well. They're all there to be looked at, but some great inspiration to have to come to hand. I did mention I'd add a bit more of the brickwork once I get the photos in place. So the photos themselves, they were taken in front of some street art in Liverpool a couple of years ago. There's a man called Paul Curtis who's very famous in Liverpool, does some amazing street art, and I actually specifically went looking for this street art while we were there on a visit. And these wings are called For All Liverpool's Liver Birds, and I'd seen something online about it, and I wanted to go and have a look. So I'm now going to add some paper just behind the two photographs, just to add a darker teal, which is one of the colours that's on the case file. And I brought in a title there. It says Free Spirit. One of the photos, when you look closely, I'm actually jumping in front of these wings, and the title's by Bramble Fox. It's an older one, but you may already have it in your stash. And I'm going to try and just overlap these photos a little over the center of the pie chart, because you may have noticed that around the edge I haven't got them all even, and that's intentional. So it's a bit messy in the center of the pie chart, so intentionally I'm going to cover that up with one of the photographs, so you will never notice when I've finished. And I quite like the way the title's sitting there. So I'm just going down the list of evidence with my pencil and ticking off the ones that I've already incorporated, and what gives me just a reminder of what I haven't used. I'm going to tuck some florals and some leaves either end, just to add a bit of a diagonal flow with these photographs. And these I'm trying to stick to the colours as well. So I'm going with a light blue, a teal, a yellow, and like a salmony pink. These are also just bits and pieces from my stash. They're not from any particular collection. I also keep embellishments by colour when there's very little left. So I've got these pouches so when I want something and I know I want it to be teal, I can lift that pouch up and dig through it. And I've done that with the yellow and the pinky peach. If you've watched me before, you'll know that embellishing is my favourite bit. So I'm going to take my time to go through the flowers and other bits and pieces that I've selected in the tray and decide which ones I can get to fit. Some of them might need cutting and trimming, or cutting out a little bit further, and I'll do that as I work my way through seeing what fits. So I'm conscious of the colours, so I'm definitely going with the salmon pink and the yellow and the teal and the light blue. Also, it mentions birds on that list. I know there was birds on one of the paper, but I've covered a lot of that up now, so I've added a little bird to go with the Free Spirit title. So that's another one crossed off the list. There are some things on there that I haven't used, and that's okay too. It's just there to inspire you to look at your stash a little bit differently. And I always find that I end up getting things out and using them that I haven't used for a while. And I think that's what a good challenge is all about. Also, if you usually scrap by collection and keep everything that you know is all themed and by colour and design together, this is a real challenge to use things that potentially aren't. And I quite like that bit about it. Do you see there was a cloud there I was holding? Didn't make the cut, but I was thinking about it. And it's possibly something I would never think of adding otherwise. Just add a little bit. There's a little tab to the right of the top photo that says important. And I've added a secondary title below that says every day is filled with precious moments. I stuck it down off camera because there was no need to show you that, but this is the finished layout and the close-ups. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and do check out the colour story inspiration challenges. So this is Sheena Rowlands for CSI. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.